How can coaches influence athletes' life outside of sports and encourage positive uh, protocol behavior as well as academic and professional success?
Have you done this one before?
Nah, this is another one. Yeah.
So just say the first one. Say the first question to me again.
Basically, how can coaches influence athletes like outside of the sport, encourage
Uh,
positive protocol behavior?
okay. Yeah, I think I think a lot of coaches have a lot of responsibility just to kind of impact his life, just like you said before, running off the track. So if I said, shoot, for instance, you right, with all the problems you had growing up, and then my biggest thing was just trying to influence you to kind of make your own situation to be better. If it's athletes you had before that may have family problems, just trying to encourage them to give them the encouragement to kind of fight through some of the demons that they have outside of track or problems they should have. I don't say not the better word demons, but I think we have a great responsibility to just try to impact the kids' life and make them better people. So if it's job situation, I feel like a coach you almost have to wear a therapist hat because you kind of have to you're going to deal with problems that have nothing to do with your sport. So you got to kind of just be not real versed, but it goes back to just being understanding to kids' problems. And then that goes back to said before, just trying to be a human and not a coach sometimes. Like if a kid has family problems, or they don't have money, stuff like that. At some point, it's not about be at practice. Why you're not here is what can I do? What can the school do? And our means to make your situation when you get here easier. If you don't have nowhere to eat, what can we do? Because that stuff can impact you. Like you can have problems that are outside the track that just downplay everything that goes to running. And if someone's not really sympathetic to that, then they're not really a coach. So, so what's the second question? Part of that question?
Um,
Well, that's the last part of it.
I mean that's basically like the last part of it, and then
Okay.
well, actually, as well as like academic and professional success.
So, how can coaches help with academic and professional work?
Yeah, like professional success.
I think I had this conversation with my sister when I went back home, like how her thing is kids or black kids should think about generational wealth. So meaning like her point was just trying to get everything paid for. And my thing is like, yeah, that's true. And I said that like I was saying before is, but also kids should go to school looking for the best fit if you're an athlete, academic and track. And her thing was, not every kid should be a professional athlete. And my thing is being a professional athlete to me isn't just being a professional football player, basketball player, track athlete. You can be a professional athlete, and that can be in your field of academics. You can get your degree, master degree, go higher from there. So I think coaches just have a great part to encourage kids to kind of chase whatever dream that they have. Right, track is a small portion of that, but if you have goals to get into journalism or get into photography or anything like that, photography, then as up to a coach, like we want to push that as well. If that's something that you're passionate about, just trying to reach those goals. So I think school is really big. Like I said, school for me was never really a thing that I loved, but one of my biggest accomplishments was getting a 3.5. One of my last semesters at OU when I was running that I had to pass all my classes, and I just wanted to challenge myself. So I think just trying to encourage kids to be professional athletes, whatever that might be, not necessarily track and field, whatever job it is. Like I said, like it's not necessarily a thing, but if you're going to be the best, you're going to be a trash man, be the best trash man you can. Like always want to kind of strive to be the best that you can. Of course, you don't want to, no one wants to be a trash man, but just take pride in what you do, whatever that field might be. And as a coach, up to encouraging people to do that, because not everyone's going to sign to D1 school and junior college, or if you're a D1 coach, not every kid is going to keep running outside the track. So if it's, if your passion is going to law, then, support that as well.
Okay. Uh, how do you think you create an inclusive and safe environment for all athletes, including like age, gender, sexual orientation, all that?
Man, I think 2020 is extremely hard. We have all these protocols you can't do. and just now having all these rules of, wearing masks, you're experiencing that as well now. So on that aspect, it's just, following the guidelines that you're giving from your school, but also guidelines that you see from the CDC and stuff like that. With coronavirus, it's extremely tough, but pre-coronavirus, just trying to make it like a family. I try to make all the athletes feel as though like their family. I also get it that I was once a track athlete, so I understand that you're always not going to be around your teammates or other stuff that happens, but just trying to make it one big family. So when kids come, they feel comfortable talking to you. They feel like they can talk to you. They feel like they can talk to their teammates. Of course, you're going to have people from different races, boys and girls, or people that could be, have different views on things, religions, sexuality. So kind of understand, like, yeah, you might say a joke, be mindful of people's preference. I think one of the biggest things is in like election year, how some people might have this view and that view, and, being a coach, kind of being mindful of that stuff as well. So the biggest thing for me is just trying to make it a family-oriented environment. And, so when we have recruits come in, which you've seen, a lot of people always love our practice because they get a good glimpse of what the vibe is. I think I haven't played any music in a while, but before, like, playing music in practice, just try to set a vibe in practice, try to make it really chill. Like I said before, it's time to go to work, it's time to go to work. But I said, for the most part, I think a lot of times when recruits come to our practices, they love the environment that they see, which is good. Like, you want to have somewhere that feel like safe, that the kids feel safe, like stuff like that. They're not going to get like made fun of. Now, granted, at times it's going to happen because we're in sports, and when that stuff does happen, talk to the athletes and they have to understand, like, people going to be sensitive, or just be mindful of people's feelings, or just doing the right thing.
Okay. Why should coaches be especially knowledgeable about Title IX?
Oh man, this is one of the things that Title IX. I think a lot of NCAA rules can be very confusing. Like, you even found that out, even something which you went to. Title IX is a really weird thing. I heard about it a lot when I was in OU. And just, the rule, it's a little bit different than the rule in the athletic term for it, but it's pretty much, to give people a fair chance to have benefits, education, and activities, depending on what the gender is. So that could even apply for males if they feel like they're being discriminated in certain things, but that's never really the case. So I think it's just good to be knowledgeable of stuff, just so you understand what it means. Even when we look at situation like in Clemson, the Title IX rule, it doesn't say in the rule book that, that for them, if you're going to cut a program to save money for the school, you can't cut a females program, but that's not necessarily the case. You want to have a fair practice all across the board. But in certain instances, like, they'll still use that to their advantage. Like when Clemson, I said before, a lot of those females on that team has spoke out because they understand that it wasn't for the Title IX giving them the right to be on a NCAA team, that they probably would be going as well. So I'm not too well versed on it, but it's something I have, seen throughout my time in NCAA, even a lot recently, and even doing some research that, is something that needs to be done for, I think, everyone to have a fair chance to participate in their sport. But in instances, I think schools sometimes will bend corners to kind of use that also as a crutch to cut programs, even though they're not supposed to do that, because that's not what Title IX is for.